Okay, Scott, here is the situation. You can hear this place is basically the size of a gym. It has a little echo, but not near as much as a regular gym because of the ceiling is dropped down a little further. We have lights on the sides, lights up top, but here we figured plan to have a little mood lighting. We're going to get a couple of lamps to help add some ambience. For the sound, we've got a couple of mic hookups, one on this side of the stage and a similar one on the other side, and there's probably one underneath this podium. I'm not sure of their sound system setup. The website says they have wireless mic rentals, but I don't see any pickups for a wireless mic. It may be somewhere else, I'm not really sure. But we'll show you a little bit how it sounds here, and you can give me some advice on what might be good for sound. Okay, let's see what time we got. We've got an hour. Okay, so Nicole, let's go ahead and start it from your opener.
Okay. So
Yeah.
are we still going to be on that side then?
Yes.
Are we blocking or just reading?
Do a little blocking. Don't worry about getting precise.
Okay.
Okay, chalkboard would be about right here.
Let's see how I can get Brad out here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's chalkboard.
Cot and sidekick chair. And over here we have desk area. Here we go. And I'll read for John and block the space.
And there might be enough shadow here that we could just kind of stand in this corner if we're wearing subdued tones and not really be visible.
As long as they don't flip on all the lights when they do their auction tape.
Well, we can turn them off during the play part, I think, can't we?
Yeah.
Just flip the switch.
I don't see why not. Just somebody walk over there and
Right.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it looks from back there, but I feel kind of in the shadows.
All right. Just go ahead.
So is someone going to speak first?
Yeah, the auctioneer is going to do his little bit. I think I have the schedule with me here. No, I don't have the schedule with me. But they do start with a bit of the auction stuff first. And I'll bring the schedule to Tuesday and we'll go over that.
So when I finish my bit, I just need to come back over here. I
Yeah,
don't need to
when
go
you finish
outside.
your bid, you just, yeah, you would walk outside, but just stay in here for right now.
I would walk outside?
Yes, you would walk outside.
Well, how will I know when to come back in?
We'll have to go over that.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Yeah. And around here, you just walk through the top.
Invisible.
Cool.
No, just fine. Okay. So that's not going to be there.
No.
Picture it, if you will. 1940s New York City police detective Edward Flynn. Detective Flynn is good at his job, highly decorated by his department, and respectfully spoken of on the radio and in the newspapers. Yes, Detective Flynn is good at his job. In fact, it's become an obsession. His wife Michelle and his 8-year-old son James rarely see him. For Detective Flynn, bringing criminals and ne'er-do-wells to justice has become more than just a job. It's become an obsession. I always stop here.
One particular case.
Oh, okay, so that's the end of that little part.
If it helps you, just go one.
Obsession one, obsession one, obsession one, obsession one, obsession one. In fact, no, it's become this. One particular case has become a thorn in Detective Flynn's side. 5 days ago, a wealthy oil man, a Mr. Lucius Wright, was found dead in an office in his well-appointed townhouse on the Upper West Side of New York City. Wright was found in a locked room with little to no evidence. No one can figure out how the murder happened or why. But Detective Flynn has a hunch as to who the guilty party is. That man is Mr. Michael Williams, Mr. Wright's business partner. The hunch that Williams is guilty of murder is hitting Flynn like a heavyweight champion boxer. But without enough evidence to convict Williams of murder, Flynn is left haunted by the smiling face of a man who thinks he is getting away with murder. Tonight, Detective Flynn will have some assistance in solving this baffling crime. He will be visited by 4 giants in the field of criminal investigation, as well as a room full of private investigators who will help him bring a resolution to the mystery of the locked door.
Oh, you did it! I know it, I know it, I know it! But I can't prove it. My goodness. No one gets that rich and lives that long without making some enemies. But how? Good night. This guy had 1 foot in the grave. He smoked like a chimney, drank like a fish. The only exercise he got was counting his bills, one by one. Old. So how did he get this beautiful blonde? Oh my goodness. Ruby red lips, long blonde hair, long legs that kept going and going. Oh, good night. Okay. So this little chickadee would come by his apartment, bring some wine glasses, some wine, some pastries. Come on in. They would visit a little bit, and then she would leave, come back, on and on. Then one day, I need the landlady first, don't I? Yeah. The landlady, sweet little landlady, would sit there and eavesdrop by the door and just check on them to see what they were chatting about. But one day, this little chickadee comes, knocks on the door, no answer. So she gets the landlady. They open the door, go in, and here's the dead guy sprawled on the desk. Nothing out of place, nothing wrong, just the dead guy. How did he do it? How did he do it? Goodness. And now I shift gears right now. Oh, heavens. Ring.
Sure we don't wake him up.
He was right about the broad. She's got a face that would make a man sit up and beg like a hunting dog.
Have some respect, my good man. There's a lady present.
I think what Raymond is trying to say is that this lady might be an important issue in the case.
You're studying that photo of the cake and the booze pretty hard. You got something there, or you skipped lunch?
I don't know, but something...
Has the little gray cells working?
Please don't. I can't stand that little boorish Frenchman.
But you wrote that little boorish Frenchman.
Right, but that doesn't mean I like him. Other people like him, and he pays the bills. So I have to keep writing him.
No gun, knife, or blunt object was found at the scene. What do you think, Agatha? Poison?
Hard to tell so early in the game, my dear Chesterton.
Oh, well. Then perhaps the answer is not what is there, but what is not.
What sense does that make? We must gather evidence and draw a logical conclusion based on that evidence.
But there are truths beyond this world, and we must have the faith to open our eyes and see them. Remember what you once wrote. Whatever is there, no matter how illogical, must be getting you closer to the truth.
You're misquoting me.
Oh, that's not important.
Precisely. What is important is that we find the killer.
Right, Agatha. I'm with our friend passed out in the cot over there. It's got to be the partner. Never trust a rich guy, especially an oil man.
How can you already assign him guilt without any evidence?
Look, Artie, I know those oil guys. When I was working at Dabney Oil Syndicate, they dismissed me for a few minor indiscretions.
A few minor indiscretions with a few of the female employees?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, now let's focus on the issue at hand. Now, the problem as I see it is that, oh dear.
Greetings, my good man. I'm Arthur Conan Doyle.
Who are you people? How'd you get into my office? How'd you get by Officer Fox at the front desk?
Please, Edward.
How do you know my name, lady?
We are here to help. You called for us.
Called for you? Oh, man. This is lay out the booze. I do something first.
Bottle clouded brain.
Yeah. Oh, man. You must be some figment of my bottle-clouded brain.
Hey, that's a good one. I've got to remember that one.
Yes, quite right. Introductions are in order. Allow me to introduce Agatha Christie, creator of Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot. Raymond Chandler, a giant in the field of hard-boiled crime fiction. G.K. Chesterton, journalist, essayist, and creator of Father Brown, the Catholic priest detective. And I, Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, at your service.
Oh, heavens. Okay, Sherlock. Why don't you tell me how come that why don't you tell me why this isn't just some big mental delusion, a figment of my imagination?
Elementary, my good sir. Your pupils are slightly dilated, but not enough to indicate anything other than a mild drunkenness. And you appear conscious enough to register a pain response.
A pain response? Ow! What are you doing?
Merely trying to prove a point, detective.
Oh, and who's this supposed to be? Watson?
That's our trusty sidekick.
Oh, sidekick, huh?
Of course, every good detective needs a sidekick. Someone to bounce ideas off of.
Or a sweet little number that doesn't know enough to stay out of danger and give you a kiss when you rescue him.
Or they can help you observe minute details that one detective could so easily miss.
Yeah, no thanks, lady. Hey, I don't need no sidekick. I work alone.